Dietitian boss, you are not the only one trying to juggle work life and home life while raising kids. Our client Norma wants her kids to know that she works, but she doesn't want them to feel like she works. She wants to be present for them when they come home from school and when they leave in the morning. When you start your own private practice, you get the flexibility to begin work when you want, like 8:30 a.m. after the kids go to school and you've had 2 cups of coffee. You also get to end work when you want. Sounds great, right? Almost too good to be true. I want to share Norma's story and give you firsthand insights into a mom's life who's building her private practice while mommying 4 boys and does it seamlessly. I'm Libby Rothschild, creator of Dietitian Boss. Welcome to my channel. My program empowers dietitians and nutritionists to create their own private practice from scratch and emboldens already established practitioners to think bigger. My method provides a step-by-step process to improve how you market yourself on social so your practice can become far more profitable and help more people. Norma started her career working in a cardiology office, seeing patients struggling with weight gain, weight loss, and cardiovascular disease. Working in a clinical setting was very hard for Norma in terms of making that compatible with raising her kids. Well, when you have a child at home sick, you can't go to work. She felt like something was always coming up. Norma knew that she couldn't live like this for long, feeling stuck in a job that she wasn't passionate about, and also feeling like she needed to tend to her children. During this time, Norma would teach nutrition at her son's school and knew she loved working with kids. It was her aha moment. She loved it. She should be doing this, working with families and kids. Norma slowly transitioned completely to private practice, working from her home. Her first client was her friend's daughter, who was a picky eater, and not long after, her own son. A couple years went by, COVID hit, and Norma wanted to become 100% virtual in her private practice. When she started the Dietitian Boss program, she had no goals. She knew she'd like to make money, but wasn't clear on the amount of how she was going to do that. She had an Instagram, but wasn't getting her audience to enroll in her program. When you're working so hard, but hitting a wall, it's easy to become frustrated. You can desire to make money and ache to hit your sales goals, but if you don't have the right messaging and call to action, meaning what you're telling your audience to do, you will not make progress. I repeat, you're not going to make progress. In order to finally get all of the things that you dream of, the most important thing you can do is shift your mindset. It took Norma 11 years to get more clear with her messaging, but once she did, things started to fall into place. Finding her niche or specialization started with a mindset shift. She had her own 4 kids to feed and knew what relationship she wanted them to have with food. Her message became so clear because it was her life. She knew exactly what she needed and wanted to say, and content became that much easier to create. Shift mindset number 1 came about. Norma said, I have so much to say to other moms because it's stuff that happens every single day in my life. She teaches the families that she works with to sit down and have family meals, and she practices that same thing. In Norma's home, they as a family sit down and eat together and talk among one another. Norma shows up in her stories daily. She posts 45 times a week on her feed, talking about real-life experiences, things that are happening at her home. She is her ideal client because she is that mom raising kids who wants them to have a good relationship with food and decrease picky eating. Norma can engage with her followers and hit on their biggest problems and pains because she understands them. She used to sit there and stare at the screen, wondering what to post on social media. Her true colors have really started to show. Her posts look like they represent her. Now, her posts don't represent someone else's thoughts or ideas. Norma used to market herself. She put ads in local magazines, sent email blasts, but none of her efforts brought her as much attention as using Instagram as a powerful tool that it is to attract clients. One of Norma's top performing posts was when she served her kid an entire plate of cookies for a snack. And on her Instagram, it blew up with moms saying, "I would never do that." Every mom was in shock, saying, "How can you trust your kids with a plate of cookies in front of them?" And that really hit a spot with a lot of moms thinking that kids can't be trusted around junk food. Norma brought up this point and brought it to attention and really understood the underlying issues and pains and frustrations and feelings of her ideal clients, and she shows that in her content. Mindset shift number 2 that Norma experienced was not letting a setback completely derail your progress. Life happens. Some weeks you just can't show up on your feed 4 or 5 times a week, and that's okay. You let it go and you just start over again. But don't let 1 week of turmoil and things happening set you back. You just pick up and you have to continue where you left off. Mindset shift number 3, comparison. Stop comparing yourself to others. Norma was spending a lot of time looking at what everybody else was doing. And it took her time to stop doing that and understand that she's selling herself. That's why someone wants to work with her, because they like and trust her. Now, she sets her own goal of what she needs to accomplish. She looks at the small goals and what she can contribute to the family finances, how much she needs to bring in, and what really motivates her to stay focused. Don't compare yourself to what another person is doing. Do what you know and go with it, because you're already qualified and your audience is here for you. They like you and they're going to want to work with you and they like what you have to say. They aren't looking for what someone else has to say. Your audience wants to hear you, and it's your responsibility to let that come through in your content. Mindset shift number 4. The right followers are better than the most followers. You don't need 10,000 followers or 1 million followers on social media to make a good living. You could do well with much less followers. Your audience just wants to hear you speak, and that's how they get to know you, and that's how they like you and trust you and buy from you. They just need you to show up, and they need to hear you. A huge component of your success is showing up. Norma knows that she has to say the same thing over and over again before her audience hears the message loud and clear. Mindset shift number 5. There's room for all of us. Norma used to wonder why she should partner up with someone else in her same niche or other healthcare professionals. She had thought that someone would leave her space and possibly go work with them. She was living in a lack mindset. Now, she looks forward to collaborating with other practitioners in the field and knows that that's part of building the know, like, and trust factor within the community and within her space. Mindset shift number 6. Ask for what you're worth. Norma was scared to ask potential clients to enroll in her program at a certain price point. She was getting objections on her price when she was taking insurance clients. But then, when her insurance wouldn't cover the cost, it became extremely stressful to relay that to potential clients. Naturally, Norma was scared to switch over to a cash pay model that we teach in the Dietitian Boss program. But once she embraced it, it became natural and easy. When someone wants to work with you and you're offering what they need, they're not going to question how much money it's costing them, because they want to know that you're going to be able to help them and that you have a solution to their biggest problems. And that's all that matters. Norma says that adding a link in her bio was the most important thing that she's done on Instagram, because now there's a clear place that someone can directly click on that link to set their own appointment time with Norma, which helped her get over the struggle of asking for money and getting payments, because things are now more systematized. Norma put together a survey for potential clients that included the cost of her program. She did this once she started to feel more confident in asking for what she deserved and what she felt like she was worth, because she doesn't want to work with anyone who isn't ready to pay for her coaching. If someone answers no, meaning they're not ready for her price, then she kindly lets them know that she only works with clients who are ready to make that investment. That was a very scary step for Norma to take, but it's paid off so much because people have taken her more seriously and they value her service much more. Norma's wasting less time and she has more time to work with moms. Norma's making $2,500 a month consistently in her virtual private practice. She says, making this much money consistently is unbelievable to me. Before, I used to have ups and downs of income. It was so great to know how much I'm making, especially with my group programs. With the growth mindset, anything's possible. What you consistently think about, you attract. When Norma began thinking about her ideal client, which happened to be her, she was able to create converting content on social media. When she began envisioning clients clicking the link on her bio and coming to her ready to buy her coaching services, Norma began hitting her sales goals. Mindset work is one of the biggest things we work on during the Dietitian Boss program. And you know what strengthens it even more? Surrounding yourself with like-minded dietitians, fellow dietitian bosses who are doing the same things as you, who are growing alongside you in their businesses, wanting to help more people and setting goals and reaching them. To keep listening to soul-stirring stories of other women who have felt lost like you do or once have, here's another dietitian who learned how to focus her message by drawing from her own personal experience, which afforded her the ability to help more people and make more money. And this dietitian boss's story is listed here.